Welcome to Tech Topics brought to you by Cybervenger. We help keep small businesses stay protected and compliant with cutting-edge cybersecurity and IT solutions.
Hello everyone and welcome. My name is Andy. I'm the Managing Consultant with Cybervenger. Today we're going to do another deep dive into the 110 controls of the NIST 800-171 standard. This standard applies to virtually every federal contract out there. If you don't know what it is, we got videos that talk about it, and there's a lot of advantages for being able to comply with the standard, a lot of business on the table. If you do know what it is, and you're already here for today's control, if you look down here, our control for the day is 3.8.4. And it says, mark media with necessary CUI markings and distribution limitations. So look over here on the other side, another cell here, it says, the term security marking refers to the application or use of human-readable security attributes. System media, including digital and non-digital media. Marking of system media reflects applicable federal laws, executive orders, directives, policies, and regulations. See NARA mark. Okay, so NARA marks. Continue to look down here on the next page. We have the nationalarchives.gov/CUI. Talks all about the markings that you need to do for various documents. So if you have a folder that contains CUI, well, how do you know where it goes and how to lock it up? It needs to be labeled as such. Labeling standards are as this web page shows. Now, this is where it gets really weird. We think of NIST 800-171 as a Department of Defense standard. And that's most typically where you run into it. But as I say in all these videos, or other federal departments, pretty much any business that you do with the federal government is going to fall at least under federal contract information. It's the minimum level of the NIST 800-171. And these markings cover a wide variety of different types of CUI. Look at this. Agriculture banner, CUI. I mean, what the heck is agriculture have to do with defense? Nothing. I mean, bank secrecy, it's sort of a battered spouse and child. I mean, I can imagine a lot of federal contracts involving helping victims of domestic abuse and such. But because they're federal contracts, they're CUI. It's really interesting the different types of marketing they have. Archaeological resources. It's very surprising, kind of interesting. But they got the documents here and exactly how you need to market the banner on it. And if you're dealing with a federal contract, I mean, there's such a variety of things you could be doing as a federal contractor. Not necessarily the Department of Defense. You could be a farm company. You could be making fertilizer or something. Maybe you're Monsanto and you're producing something under federal contract. Technically speaking, that's CUI. Service, or at least FCI, federal contract information. And all these different markings apply to that. That gives you an idea of just the kind of paperwork involved in complying with this standard. But yeah, you want to mark paper copies. You want to keep those copies in folders, CDs, DVDs, backup tapes, even any kind of media that you can think of that's portable, or even if you have like a hard drive, but it's meant to be a portable hard drive, you want that marked CUI. Certainly anything that's human readable. Pictures, photos should be sealed in an envelope of some kind and marked and labeled appropriately as what they apply to, so that people who have access to them know how to handle them. Now, there's two types of thinking out there. There is, of course, a great way of identifying what we have so we're not handling it. But now it's like, okay, we identified it, made it easier for the bad guy to find it. But if you're locking things up appropriately, and we're following the control standards we just went over in the last video about making sure that stuff is locked up and away from non-authorized individuals, that shouldn't be a big deal. And I think ultimately I do agree with the standard that it's better to have things marked and labeled so you can tell what they are, so you can take the appropriate steps to handle it properly. I mean, how can you do any of this if you don't label it and don't know what it is? It's really easy to get confused with CUI. I mean, again, CUI is anything federal contract. Well, how do you know it's part of a federal contract? We have to look at the contract and read the information in it, which is all stuff you're not supposed to do unless they're authorized. It gets a little tricky. I'm in a lot of these town hall meetings for like the CMMC, and everybody's confused with what CUI is. Where do you draw the line? I mean, the federal contract itself is FCI, which is federal contract information. That is also protected information if it's not CUI. It's related but not exactly the same. It gets confusing, and if you dig through this archives.org, it's kind of interesting, all the things they talk about. It gives you an idea there. So that's all I got there. Just got to label your stuff, and that should help you comply with 3.8.4. what did I say this? 3.8.4. All right, I'll see you in the next one.
Thanks for watching. We hope this video has provided valuable information to you. Be sure to share this video with other small business owners to spread the word about the importance of cybersecurity. As always, don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos like this. If you want more information about cybersecurity, visit us at www.cybervenger.com.